Okay, so I'm going to walk us through using the OWL Purdue MLA handbook. I just go into Google and I type in MLA handbook and then search. And I'll click on this link right here. And so as you can see, it's quite a large website. It can be really overwhelming to go through all of these pages. However, I recommend that you actually do go through all of the pages at some point. Some of the most important information is to review the general format in terms of the paper format here, the general guidelines, just 8.5 by 11, one space after periods, another punctuation, the margins are 1 inch on all the sides. It's a lot of text and there's bullets. But it also is information that you absolutely must use when you are writing in MLA. So you do need to read all of this information to make sure that you are writing following the MLA guidelines. Now you have the information for formatting your first page. And of course it says do not make a title page for your paper unless specifically requested. And so it has the sample page of the first page. It talks about how to set up the section headings and gives you all of these different samples. All right? So that's just the general format. Now, if you want specific information for how to do in-text citations, you want to go ahead and go to these two tabs right here, in-text citations, the basics. And then read through the information where it tells you the general guidelines. And of course, it's going to give you information on whether or not the text is from print, web, whether it's a DVD source, and then to make sure that the in-text citation corresponds to the works cited page. It's very important that the way that you cite the information in your paper matches up to how you have it cited on the works cited page. All of your teachers and your professors will be making sure that the information that is cited in your essay matches the information that is cited on your works cited page. And then it goes through all the various ways that you will cite your citations. Author, page, style. And then in-text citations for print sources with a known author, with no known author, literary works with multiple editions, and really you simply have to read through these because these different examples have to do with what type of text you are using. So you want to go ahead and scroll through these different examples depending upon what your situation is. If you're citing multiple works by the same author, how are you going to cite that in your essay? Again, the tab you are on is in-text citations, the basics. This has to do with how you cite it in terms of after you have formatted the quotations. And the page, there's quite a bit of information. It even says when a citation is not necessary. The next tab is formatting quotations. So it has how to format a short quotation. And this is if you're going to embed a quote right into your own sentence, how you would do that. So you'll want to read the different directions right in here. And if you're going to format a longer quotation, so this you'll notice is indented differently than the rest of the paragraph style, but it is still double space. So it's important that you read the directions that are up here explaining the example that is down here. And then it also gives you the directions on how to format the quotation if you are citing from poetry as well. So when citing 2 or more paragraphs, use block quotation format, even if the passage from the paragraph is less than 4 lines. So it's important that you read all of the information. If you're going to add or omit words in quotations, there are examples and directions on how to do that in your essay. So any questions that you may have in terms of how to embed a quote or how to actually put the quote into your essay, that information will be here in this page. You'll see that there are several tabs on how to format your works cited page, the basic format, and then how to cite books, periodicals, electronic sources, and then other common sources. They have a sample works cited page, which I think is really useful, and then they also have a sample paper, which is also very useful. So you want to go ahead and click on the sample works cited page. Because that'll give you a good idea of what a sample works cited page looks like. Although I highly recommend using online sources like EasyBib. And then even if you use EasyBib, though, EasyBib will make sure you have all of your information arranged correctly in the citation. It doesn't necessarily organize your citations according to alphabetical order, so you'll still have to make sure that your citations are organized in the correct order alphabetically on the works cited page. And then also on a tab, it has an MLA sample paper. With comments on the side, and you can make this paper bigger so it's easier to see as well. So basically what you want to do is go through the different tabs. There's also a PowerPoint presentation if you find that you learn better using a PowerPoint presentation. Once you get to college, you might find in your science classes and your social studies classes that they want you to use the APA style guide. So you'll even be able to find the APA style guide on the OWL Purdue site. And that is how you should use the OWL Writing Lab to help you figure out any questions that you might have about formatting quotations or in-text citations for your essays.